Hey everybody, Jeffrey Powers from Geekazine, and guess what? We've got a special video here because Wirecast 7 is here! Yay! Wirecast 7, of course, the product that I use for my software video switching is now out. You can check it out. First of all, Jeffrey Powers from Geekazine. If it wasn't for Wirecast, that stuff like this wouldn't be happening, because that's what this program does. Also puts, like, watermarks on, like right here. I can do split screens. I can do phone interviews, one-on-one interviews. I can do a whole bunch of other stuff, desktop, laptop, whatever. And with Wirecast, it's easy to do, and I've got it on my PC. I downloaded it on my Mac, and so what we're going to do is we're going to take a first look at Wirecast 7. Now, what that means, I've only had this for about an hour, so I've been playing with it as frantically as possible, finding the little nuances, good and bad. We'll have some pros and cons on this, but the whole point is that, I've only had this for an hour, so no deep diving. But I think we've got a good amount. So sit back, grab some popcorn, and check it out. So we'll try and be as quick as possible here. So first of all, let's go over to the website, Telestream Wirecast. You can, it's there it is. That's the website. It explains it all here. Version 7 now available. I have the Pro version. You can get the regular version. Regular version starts at $495. There is an upgrade price if you are on Wirecast 3 to Wirecast 6. So of course, with Pro, I also had to do the upgrade. And then, of course, they also have premium support depending on what version you have. So what can you do with Wirecast with Studio? You can do different input sources. So you can, if you've got cards that can capture through cameras, USB cameras, even HDV support, but you have to get an extra license for that, which is only $99 upgrade. So you can put in as many sources as you want. You can use the Wirecast Cam iOS app, so you can kind of do the reporter on scene. So you can set up a laptop anywhere. And then you could turn around and use iPhones and stuff like that. Have somebody working it in a little router on the side, so the wireless it captures you basically set it up for the wireless, so they capture the cards. You grab it and then you can push it out to the people or record it and go from there. What else you got? You got added input sources. This is Wirecast Pro side. This is just the regular Wirecast side. New Blue Titler Live Express. I use New Blue Titler. That's what those lower thirds and stuff like that are from. I have the more exorbitant version, I guess you could say. But I guess they have now a Live Express for which is now free with the purchase of Wirecast 7. So you can make animated titles for that. So that's pretty cool. 3D sets from VirtualWorks, you can get that. You can purchase that for $329. The HDV options, like I said, you have for Wirecast regular, you can buy it. Looks like for Pro, you get it for free. Awesome. So, and that's if you have FireWire cameras. So if you don't have it, don't worry about it. Production tools, with Pro, you get the added Pro level production tools. And then, of course, the streaming. Facebook Live, YouTube streaming, live stream, Ustream, all the other streams. We all stream for streaming. So you can do it to multiple, and you can do it in multiple destinations. You can go YouTube and Facebook Live if you have the bandwidth there. Virtual camera, microphone output, and then of course with Pro you get the program feed output to Blackmagic Design, which means that what I can do is then I can output it to another machine where that would do the work streaming. Maybe something like a TriCaster or another device. So you can use that as the ambassador, liaison, whatever, however you want to call it. So, but the bottom line is, you push it out into another machine and go from there. So, so that's basically what you get with this. Let's look at the program. It looks very similar to the previous versions, unless you're up on 3. It's going to look completely different. But if you had Wirecast 5 or 6, it's very similar to it. I have this on my Mac. and let's switch over to the Mac here. So as you can see, we've got some slight differences here. One of the big differences is these little lights over here. This is your preview and your live area. Now, when I set up Wirecast, I'm always in live area. So as you can see, I click on that, it goes instant live. I like it. It makes my life a lot easier. If I had like 2 or 3 people doing different stuff, maybe I'd do this window, which is the preview and the live. So we'll go back to blank shot. As you can see, I can turn that off so it doesn't go live, which I think I have to do up here. But so you get the idea. But that's what these buttons are for. If I want to switch back and forth, there's my production, there's my preview area, and there of course is the production and preview area. Now, this window, this top part of the window is where you're going to be doing a lot of working because, like I said, well, the biggest thing that's missing from here, from the top bar, is the sources option. And the reason why is because the sources option has been basically nixed, redone, so it can be down here. There's a double arrow. You see that right there? And when you press on that double arrow, there is your new source area. And as you can see, this is the preview pane, this is the actual pane, and of course, if I switch it up here, and I go like this, now this can get a little bit confusing because if you make changes, it doesn't show here until you press on there, or press go, or anything like that. So I like this as the preview production area like there. So, but this is your new source area. This is where you're going to make a lot of your changes, your resizing of your screen and all that other good stuff. So you basically have your layers and you have your options. Now these options have also changed as well. As you can see, instead of me having, you know how you had to do the pinch and you hold down the control to do the tilting and stuff, no more. You want to scale this puppy, you use the slider. Let's scale it in. Let's scale it out. Let's there we go. Let's rotate it on the x-axis. Woohoo! Let's rotate it on the y-axis. Woohoo! Let's reset the position. We're back to where we were. Let's scale to fit. There we go. Now let's bring the size back, and this is what you would see from my video here. Now let's crop. Let's choose that drop down. Let's go left. Okay. Let's go right. And of course you can also do it from the numbers here. I always had a problem with 6 because I would do right and I'd be like right here, and then all of a sudden it would just push it back a little bit more. So even though I wanted it here, it would end up here. And I always had problems with that. This seems to be a lot smoother on the Windows and the Mac side. So I'm really excited about that, be able to crop without issue. This is a cool addition right here. And that is the color. I can change the brightness. I can change the contrast. I can change the gamma. You can see that? I can change the hue. So Geekazine has some really cool color change right there. And of course I can change the saturation. So I can go black and white, or I can do a full bright color. And of course, with the reset, everything goes back to where it was and makes me super happy because I don't have to wonder where that is. We've got the volume area over here. Ooh, let me zoom in on this. Sorry about that. So we got the volume for the audio. It looks a little bit different. You now can mute it from here. You can change the volume. Of course, there's no volume on this one. So let's go to I have my Morning Geeks loaded up here. So basically there's music here. I can mute that music. I can change the volume. It's no minus 6 dBs anymore. It's a percentage. 100%. I think it goes to 100. Let's see. 199% to 0%. And I was at what, 29% with this. So I'll leave it at that. And too bad there's no reset or undo buttons. That would have been nice to have that, so I can just say undo. I bet you, maybe if I do, yeah. I do Command Z or Control Z on Windows, and that will take it back to where it was. Chroma key properties, just the same. Use chroma key, set the defaults. You can pick a color. Let's pick this. Let's pick a color, and then pick that color. As you can see, chroma key works pretty well. You change your key threshold, your white clip, your black clip, and go from there. So let's just turn that off because we don't need that. Over here we have your build-in and build-out properties. You can do the fades and spins and stuff like that. You still have it over here, and it still doesn't work the way that I really want it to, and that is to say I want to change all the fade information from here and not worry about these buttons down here. So then it would depend on the scene. So if I chose the just This Morning Geeks, because this is just the intro, basically gives you, when I'm on Facebook Live, it basically says, okay, in 5 minutes, the show starts. So I would love this to have the fade in, fade out, but then when it goes to like my video, it just does a cut. But it doesn't do that, so that was kind of sad on there. But it is what it is. The other thing is with the audio, kind of a downfall, once again, is the fact that, you know, if you've ever used it, you put in the headphones to try and listen to yourself while you're recording, it is still at that latency, that major latency. And I'm not sure why they haven't really taken the time to just fix that problem. So wearing headphones and listening to yourself, just not happening. I usually go through a mixing board, so it doesn't feed back my voice, and I can hear what else is going on there. So, but anyway, minor things. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully that'll get fixed here. So let's go back to here. This is the way I like to see my Wirecast. Let's go up to the menu bar, and of course, this is on Mac. It'll be slightly different on the PC, but not too much. Instead of seeing Wirecast file edit switch, you just see file edit switch and so on and so forth. So on Wirecast, you can do the preferences. You've got your performance, you got your general, you got your license, you got your software update, you got your hotkeys, advanced, and we're good to go there. So you got all, you can import media, save as, just like the old version. Edit. A lot of stuff here that, you know, this is what you see on Mac. So emojis and symbols. Yeah, that's basically a Mac thing. So if you're on PC, you don't see that. Switch. Simple as you got go, cut, smooth, transition speed, blah, blah, blah. Media. You can start playing all your movies. You can show your asset manager to see what you got there. Output. That hasn't changed. Output settings, you can do your recorded disc, you can do your RTMP for your Facebook Live or your YouTube or anything like that. So that's all good there. Layout, you can show it, you know, it's basically these green and red dots here is the same thing. You can also go to your layers and you can activate layers. There's still only 5 layers. So nothing bigger. Replay and ISO. This is another major change here. And of course, instead of just the up on top, they also have this thing right here, which is the ISO record. So if you press that, and this is a pro feature. So if you're using just regular Wirecast, you don't have that option. If you hit the ISO, you're ready to do some replay recording. If you don't use the replay recording, you're not going to mess with that too much. But it's to help with the replay and ISO right there. Twitter. Same thing, you can change your settings, create your shot, and create your Twitter. I did this on the PC, so we'll bring that up, and we got some of the reactions for Wirecast. Like Maloney Rory said, Wirecast 7 is now live, and of course you can change that. And then this is TS BizDev, and he says Wirecast 7 is now live, new features, new logo, new experience. Oh, that's right, there is a new logo too, and this is pretty interesting. Check out the new logo here. I just pulled that from the web page. So basically, it actually looks like, you know, a drill. But the idea is they wanted to show the little RSS broadcast thing. It's backwards. So it's like you're broadcasting to the ground instead of broadcasting up and to the right like an RSS feed would have. But of course, it's got the W, as you can see, and I understand it's tougher to actually make it the opposite way. But it does. The coolest thing about this is even though it's pointing this part down, the whole W is always in a forward motion, and that's pretty cool. So it's definitely some pros and cons on that new logo, but You don't buy it for the logo, you buy it for how it works. And it works pretty well. Besides the small cons that we have there. Other than that, that's basically all the windows there. The audio is exactly exactly the same. The layers are exactly the same. You can zoom them in, you can zoom them out. There's my master layer 1, bring it in, bring it out, expand it, so on and so forth. Audio from there, once again, I really wish that they would have worked on some of the audio stuff. I really would have liked that, so I could actually listen to myself, even if it's a slight delay, which a lot of other software switchers have. I can deal with that, but the delay is just so much that I start to sound like I'm slowing down. You get the idea. So, anywho, where are we? We're at the 15-minute mark. So that's just basically it. That is it in a nutshell, the basics of Wirecast. The only other thing that this is a feature that I've asked them to put in. They didn't put it in this version. Hopefully soon they will. Is excuse me, is that they put in a photograph button. Because there's so many times that I'm doing something, especially when I'm working with somebody else and we're doing a back and forth, and I'd just like to take a simple photo, a screen grab of this area. I would have loved to have that button like right up here, so I can go up there, take that snap, and then move on. And then when this is all done, I have some pictures to show, to put onto Instagram, to put onto Facebook, things like that. So that's hopefully down the line. And of course, I have some other ideas on what they should be adding to Wirecast. But this is it. The other big pro, and I haven't tested this yet, is it's supposed to be more streamlined. It's supposed to have a better ability to control on the inside on both Windows and Mac, so you can record more bit rate. And because, like, for instance, on my Mac, I can only record at 720p. If I tried to do 1080, even with the X265, I have an older MacBook, that is true, but even with some of the newer MacBooks, you try to do the to high streaming, you did 4K and stuff like that, which you can't do 4K on Wirecast just yet, but maybe they can. Let me just see how the new version is. Like I said, this is all new, so I haven't looked at that part. So let's bring it up here. Let's bring it back here. So this is all the stuff. You can go YouTube 1440p 60, Apple's 264. That's pretty good. 1080p. 1080p, you can, it looks like they've got some 60 frames a second stuff here. I don't know if it works or not just yet, but nothing past 1080p. Well, nothing past 1440p, and I can't remember the actual resolution of that, and that's 12 megabits per second. So that's not too bad, and it's not 4K. I think that is 2K. Not 100% sure on that. I got to remember the resolution sizes again. But anyway, the whole point is that that's where you can record. I'm probably going to stick to 720 or 1080. When I'm doing recording like this, it's always going to be 1080 because I'm only doing just a recording. If I do streaming recording, I'll most likely do 720. You don't want to max your resources unless the only time I would do that is if I'm using, like, I have an Atomos Ninja, which is an external video display recorder, so I can actually record from this into the Atomos and go from there. So neither here nor there. We'll leave it at that. But the whole point is that you've got a lot of options. You've got a lot of great stuff. You can do a lot of cool things with these lower thirds, with these titles and stuff like that. And of course, you can find me over at Geekazine. Think Magazine put in a geek. This has been a quick, well, as quick as it can be, walkthrough of Wirecast 7. Wirecast 7 is here. It's important to make sure that you upgrade. Of course, if you're on Wirecast 6, some of you will definitely probably wait, because there are some bugs. Like, for instance, the Blue FX plugin is having some problems on my Windows side. My Mac side, it pulled up, no problems whatsoever. But on the Windows side, I had to redo all of my my titles and stuff like that, and they still are erroring out every now and then. I got them to work, so I'm guessing with a couple fixes here and there from both sides, it might be a both side thing. we'll get that to work. Plus, it's a little bit tougher to get into the titler. So you have to find it, basically. And like I said before, you go to the sources and you choose the source, and there was Titler Pro Live. Sometimes that little button's grayed out, and I'm not sure why there. So, but anyway, like I said, all first look, and that's basically it. So if you got any questions, you can tweet me at Geekazine or geekazine@gmail.com. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks a lot for listening. Wirecast 7 is here. Check it out, and let me know what you think, if you're going to get it or not, and go from there. Until then, you guys geek out, and take care.